Steve and Sunia. Steve, we've already done a part one to this. We've talked about your court case, but I really wanted you to meet Sunia, partly because you're both warrior men, and so many Kiwis want our men now to be warriors and stand up to the bullies. Are you aware of what Sunia's done, Steve? A little bit of what he's done?
Briefly, yeah. Briefly know he was in the health services and he got a raw deal through...
Very much through the mandate, St John's Ambulance, that continued to use your image, Sunia. What was the result that you got from that interview we did? Because from Free NZ's perspective, it was they loved you, they supported you a bit like they love and support Steve.
My result was good exposure to the general public, to let them know what these guys are actually doing behind the scenes, and obviously the response was a big outcry of like, how can you be doing this? And in these times that people are struggling to get an ambulance or healthcare or anything like that, they're holding it back or suppressing that sort of thing. And
for people who aren't aware, very briefly, we'll put the actual interview underneath this one. But you were willing to go back in the early days after the whole mandate system eased up, and they did not accept you, and they're desperate for ambulance drivers. That's true, isn't it?
Yes, they are.
And on top of that, they were using your image to help with the fundraising when they had mandated you out and dropped you. So we have had many people say, I'm not going to give money to St John's Ambulance anymore. There are better places I can give my money. Steve, what do you feel about that? It's just staggering that the upper echelons, the people on the front lines are probably still doing their best, but the upper echelons, the management, are so in with the government.
Yeah, I mean, it is. It seems like it's just all at the expense of the people. You know, I mean, and the people at the top are getting paid, and the people at the bottom are just getting left by themselves. I mean, I had that incident where I was in Mangawai, and a friend of mine had a heart attack. And we rang the ambulance, rung twice, and I got an answer phone saying go to your local GP. And we managed. I just fluked it, but we were driving, trying to find somebody, and we fluked, come across the ambulance centre there in Mangawai, and managed to get him over the line and managed to get him into Whangarei Hospital. But I just couldn't believe that there were, there was just no, weren't picking the phone up. You know what I mean?
And he was having terrible heart issues, wasn't he?
Yeah. It was all on. So, I mean, it's more than obvious that we live up in Glendine, and it's just 24/7 sirens now.
Ambulances, if you go out at night, I was out driving last night and I passed 4 ambulances. Never seen anything like it, Sunia. What are you hearing from those who are still in there, who you're talking to? Are you able to get any information?
I've been on the down low the past few months, so I have caught up with a couple of friends just to talk about everything, and also on the topic of, what do you think? Should I come back full-time or part-time, or just...
And what are they saying? Are they desperate to have you back? Because you were well respected, you worked incredibly hard, and you were a real leader in there.
Yeah, my good friends are saying come back full time. So
are they saying it's getting more busier? Are they saying it's...
Oh yeah, it's constantly busy. It's a never-ending thing, but also it's that busy that some people that are putting in for their leave or annual leave for special events or things that they important that they need to attend, they are getting declined because they just don't have the workforce to do that.
And they haven't reached out to you after all they did wrong to you. The arrogance of that is incredible.
And a lot of people are leaving to Aussie. I mean, just an absolute mass exodus off to Aussie, isn't there?
It's so heartbreaking. Sunia, have you had other whistleblowers come forward? Have you, or people who are prepared to be as brave and as whistleblower as you have been? Have you had others who've said to you, if you can do it, I'm willing to talk about what I'm seeing?
In other sectors,
Yep.
But
I'd really like to look at doing maybe a little series, the two of us together, and we talk to them, because we need the truth out. This is the courage of this man, Steve.
Yeah.
Did you know also, Steve, Sunia was one of the officers looking after people in Freedom Village? You mentioned that in our last interview.
Yeah.
So tell a bit about that, Sunia. You were manning that tent, what, day and night some days?
Basically, it was just like just a first aid tent, because you know, obviously, in the big world, we don't have any authority to practice or any of that.
Haven't got the certificate anymore.
Yeah, or you know, all that stuff. They're like, so we just say it's first aid, so anyone can do first aid. Oh yeah,
right.
we'll put a plaster on it or band-aid. Here you go, or stuff like that. So that's all it was. But man, was it busy? It was like it reminded me of just like a ED, really, people in and out.
Really?
Issues are like, you know.
What were the issues down there?
Just medical issues, traumatic injuries, everything, you name it. You name it. Yeah, even to like the weather, like, you know, hypothermia and that, you know, during the stormy time.
Turn the sprinklers on them, eh?
Yeah.
Oh, that
Unbelievable.
terrible Trevor Mallard who did that.
It's unbelievable, eh?
Yeah,
and should be up on charges.
Kids were intense, and their mattresses were soaked.
Turned it into a swamp.
Yeah.
So you saw people, you saw children and adults with colds and sick because of that.
Yeah.
We never heard about that.
We were also like a relief tent as well. People's tents being flooded out. So we had tarpaulin that people have been donating. So come, give you tarpaulin, giving out gumboots.
And some of these people are already traumatized, vaccine injured.
Lost their jobs, losing their families.
Yeah. Down in life, and you go to your leaders just to talk to you, and then they put the sprinklers on you like you're the backyard dog.
And that dreadful Trevor Mallard who's taken off to Ireland now. God, that is just disgusting. Yeah. But Steve was saying in the last interview that he and I did, Sunia, it was also a recreation of the New Zealand we really want. Because what did you think about Freedom Village? It was
a massive collaboration of all sorts of entities, people, good souls, good skills, everything. It's just, and it was organic, it was all natural. And it
was from the ground up, it wasn't top down.
And there was like no one trying to like be up here and like, hey, you do this, or we want it this way. It was just everyone putting in their own,
it was good.
Their own, you know, efforts and what they had to offer, and it just worked out somehow.
Yeah, it was great, wasn't it?
Somehow,
I took the kids down. Like, I just wanted the kids. I went down by myself and just seen how it was happening. And I just said, man, I just want the kids to experience it, you know, because it's something special. So I went home and took the kids down. We got our RV and drove down, and
it's magical.
Yeah.
What we should have after the election is a group who get in who say we'll just turn those Parliament grounds back into a Freedom Village forever. Forever. That would be amazing. Really nice tents, really nice free food. Just an acknowledgement of it. But Sunia, what is it about Steve as you've watched his progress? Because you've obviously mentioned to me that you noticed him standing out against the mandates, against the lockdowns, against the bullying of WorkSafe. And you said to me early on, I've always admired Steve. What made you admire him?
Oh, I've always admired him. I know him. I know who he is outside of this circle that we're currently in the battle with. But he's a prominent figure in martial arts in New Zealand, and just. You just already know the man he is the man he is, and what you see here today on the camera and in previous interviews, that's who he is, and it's just straight how he is, and I admire him for that, and also standing in front of everyone, standing up for all the peoples that are rights have been infringed on, and our families and our kids. So we're all in it together, and and it's nice to have another brother next to side by side, and we stand together. And the more of us stand side by side, the stronger we are. Yeah. So.
Oh, such a relief to hear.
We got a
this.
mutual friend through Mark Hunt as well. So West Auckland's pretty small.
Nice. But this is what Kiwis need to hear. Even as a woman in this society, the way it is with way too many women having done what they've done to us, Helen Clark and Jacinda and all these others, it's so, we need to bring back our Kiwi male protectors and warriors. As a woman, I deeply feel that, Steve.
Yeah.
There's something that's horribly out of balance, isn't there?
Yeah, right we deal with, we're based martial arts. I mean, we're looking to raise up warriors, and it's thin pickings out there, man.
It really is. What do you think they get from the tournaments? What is it those kids get?
Oh, just resilience. The kids, like we got, a little 4-year-old boy that's just competed on the weekend, and just resilience, mate. These kids just just confidence. If you can bottle confidence, man, that's it. You know, to make kids thrive in life, and you know, and it's the martial arts is a great leveling out. You know, you get some kids that are ADD and super, you know, you know, play up. Well, martial arts will humble them and bring them down a little bit, but then you got kids that are super scared and scare their own shadow, and that'll empower those kids. So it's it levels the kids, brings them into a happy medium where, you know, they get humbled if they need it, or they grow and they get confidence too. So it's a beautiful thing.
For parents who are listening to this interview thinking, I want that for my boy or girl, because there are girls tournaments too.
No, the girls are massive. The girls actually really do well early. They seem to pay attention a lot better than boys, and do really well. The boys have got their work cut out for them for quite a few years, but then they take over eventually. But the girls have definitely got the head start on them.
And how do they get involved, Steve? What's the beginning? Do they come out to the
I think
Oliver's
jiu-jitsu,
gym?
you know, wrestling, any type of wrestling program. But
they can come out to your gym,
yeah,
can't they?
yeah. We're just in West Auckland. We've got you know, Oliver MMA gyms all over Auckland. There's one out south. There's one in
Browns Bay.
Yeah, one in Browns Bay. We got in the headquarters just here in Newland, not too far from the KFC in Newland. 26 Veronica Street. But we just got a great program, and it's what I wanted to develop since I was young, because I was fortunate enough to be left in the gym 24/7, and I was exposed to really good role models and just had a really great experience growing up around prominent sporting figures, you know, that I just attached myself to at different stages in life, and took note of what they were doing and how they were disciplined, and progressed through my sporting career, you know, just taking notes, and I just wanted to give that back to the community. So that's what we're doing there, and it's world-class product. I'm just really happy with the way it's turned out.
I want to emphasise what I've seen from the sidelines. You and Chrissy, your wife, give back so much. Organising these tournaments all around the country, it takes a huge amount. You don't have weekends where you put your feet up and just relax with the kids. You're organising others, making this happen. And I imagine it costs a lot to actually run tournaments like
yeah,
this.
I mean, just, it's a massive community project that, you know, we fund it. We don't get any, you know, government funding or anything. It's evolved just organically through the need of the sporting fraternity in New Zealand, that they need goals. They need to have something to strive for. So we set up the tournaments. There wasn't anything. You know, probably we've been going 14 years ago, and we've developed it into a national circuit, so that we're right through. We got one in Dunedin coming up about 5 weeks, then we're in Christchurch and Wellington, Taupo and Auckland.
It's amazing.
Yeah, we do 12 tournaments a year. But yeah, it is. I mean, you know, it's a community project, so and overheads are huge. You know, we've got you know, the medals alone have tripled in price. The venues have gone up. You know, the security we need. You know, just...
What would you be looking at cost-wise for just one tournament?
Well, I mean, you know, a decent medal's probably $12, $14, you know, and then you got the venue.
You've got heaps.
Yeah,
of
I mean, you probably wouldn't get much change out of 20 grand, you know, to run one tournament, you know.
So if you had someone for 12, so say you had someone who might sponsor you for 150,000, say, if a sponsor was willing to have their name on the tournament,
I mean,
could they do that?
Oh, of course. I mean, that'd be epic. You know, I mean,
that would be incredible.
We've got a couple of guys that are helping out. We've got Vibe. He's a great friend, and he's actually met him through the Don Oliver Foundation, Stefan, and he does Westie Pies. He's helping us with, you know, giving us food and stuff to feed the volunteers and that, you know, throughout the day. So and giving a little bit of product and stuff. And we've also got Storm that helps, you know, because he makes kimonos, so he's helping us with a bit of kimonos. But yeah, as far as just, you know, getting medals and paying for venues and stuff like that, like, you know, even if there was a few different businesses contribute, you know, we're more than happy to put their name up and give them exposure and stuff like that.
And if you do that, if you help Steve with these tournaments and the costs, and you want naming rights, we will also really publicise you. We'll really push your business. at Free NZ, because this is how we rebuild community.
Yeah.
Don't you think, Sunia? This is how you get people who are demoralised feeling part of a community again and happy, and the kids are blossoming. It's a wonderful idea.
There's actually in the UAE, they've got a program. They've had a program for about 20 years now, where they implemented. They got a black belt. There was a job. There was a job for any black belt in the last 15 years to go and get paid in Abu Dhabi, and they'd get placed into a school, and that would they would train them in the schools. And that now Abu Dhabi is just full of black belts. The place is just teeming with high level jiu-jitsu practitioners.
Really?
And I mean, that's imagine. I'd love to see the numbers on mental health and suicide and stuff like that over there, because it would be interesting.
You mean it would be low because
Yeah.
they're doing this
Yeah.
sort of sport?
Yeah, everybody's confident, everybody's resilient.
Yeah.
It's an actual fundamental program running through the schools over there, and the sheiks, because the sheik seen the benefit and implemented that in probably 15, 20 years ago. So yeah, it'd be interesting.
Imagine what we could do with this country. Imagine how we could turn it around.
What a gift! The gift to your country is to empower the youth, on that level, you know what I mean? And it's not people think martial arts, it's all violence. Man, it's not at all. It's discipline, it's respect, it's everything.
It's resilience. It's what we need in life.
Yeah.
Have you done martial arts, Sunia? You have?
I've done a little bit.
Nice. And what do you think hearing this? It wouldn't be hard to rebuild New Zealand, would it?
I truly believe in it. It's a lifestyle as well. Like I take my children, or I used to take my sons and daughter to Muay Thai training in Erie, 2 days a week. And, my sole purpose was just for them to learn skills, confidence.
Self-discipline.
Self-discipline and everything that comes with training and learning all that stuff. It's character building as well, and it builds men, it builds strong women.
Leaders,
all of the above.
It's exactly what society needs, because it's exactly what they are taking away from us.
It's exactly what they're trying to take
Yeah.
away. They're trying to break families. They're trying to break down women, silence women. They're trying to make men weak and emasculated.
Yeah.
And this runs counter to it. It's brilliant.
Demoralise,
And this actually undoes all of
Yeah,
that. That's a fantastic scheme. Sunia, we need to talk about your foot just briefly. On the day we put out the last interview, you had a sports accident, didn't you? And
Yes.
What happened?
What happened? I basically ruptured my Achilles tendon.
I just thought,
Being active,
just
enjoying life.
Just as all these messages saying, I love you, Sunia, thank you for standing up, we really value you. You had yet another challenge, but you're nearly there with it. Is it coming right now?
Yeah, I think I'm going to say another 3 to 4 months, and then I'll be operational, ready to go back into the service.
Wow.
Fully fit. So I'm in the process. Of transitioning back in. So
Back into St. John's.
the beginning phases. So I've got my lawyer. She's sent as of today, she sent a letter to whoever's going to answer to it to address those range of matters and terms and conditions that they will have upon me returning back to work. Because I don't know if you remember, a legal letter was sent before that when they declined my application.
Yeah.
Under the Privacy Act, my lawyer requested all the information regarding why they would not rehire me and so on, so on, so on. And their response, they failed to address, I think, 2 or 3 of those requests.
Such as? Can you give us an example?
Don't quote me from memory, but it has to do with something that they disclosed on that Channel 1 News interview. So they mentioned something about there were a range of matters that came to, they're making up the decision not rehiring me. But in our formal legal requests, they did not disclose any of that.
So they contradicted themselves on the mainstream media.
Yeah, so that's what we're going to clarify first. But I asked if we can also meet in person so we can discuss about all these matters. Because at the moment, I have no issues with them. It's them that's trying to make out that I have issues, but I have no issues. I was like, look, I'm just on.
You just want to be treated fairly.
Get on with life.
Yeah, just getting on with it. I'm just I got nothing. I got no gain out of going back to work. Like I've got no financial gain. I've got Nothing. It's just me going to do what I'm trained to do
And
and
you've
what I love
missed
to do.
out on how much money, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, let's not even go there.
Yeah.
But how about
Yeah.
they make up for you for all the times they used your image when they just biffed you out the back door with the mandates? How about they show some generosity? And we'll report on that, St. John's.
Oh, yeah.
We'll give you praise where it's due, but no praise is due at the moment. So how about they treat you decently? And then we'll praise them in the next interview.
I'm not even going after them for anything or any of those sort of
You're
things.
not?
I'm not like, I'm just like, just give me my job, I chuck on my uniform and I just go back and
Go back and help people.
yeah. Go back
Sunia
and
could sue them. He
Yeah.
could sue them for
Yeah,
using
yeah,
his
yeah.
image like
Yeah,
this.
yeah,
He's the bigger man. St. John's, we all want to see you be bigger. And I believe if you don't, a lot more people will cancel their subscriptions to you. So I'm really interested in the next interview if St. John's has reached out with dignity and treated you with the respect you deserve. It's disgusting, isn't it, Steve? These
it's
organisations
consistent.
that
I'd like to say it was a surprise, but
we'll have to get better management after the next election if they don't do this. If they don't do this. So, Sunia, you just want to get that job back and get on the road and help people again.
Yeah. That's my decision that I've made. Obviously, from the time I had that Channel 1 appearance.
We should mention that because Channel 1 picked up the interview that
okay.
Sunia and I did.
Yeah.
And all praise to that reporter. She actually told the truth. The only thing she lied about was calling me a conspiracy theorist, Steve.
Yeah.
She couldn't help herself, or it had come down from above.
Yeah,
Put in the
conspiracies, eh?
Everything else, though, to be fair, what's her name?
Indira
She
Stewart.
actually did a proper journalist's job about Sunia. And
She should do a piece on you and actually go down the list of
things that I've said.
Yeah,
that
it's
have
conspiracies and proven true. Conspiracy, proven conspiracy. Let's actually line it up.
I
You
got
wanna
the
throw
feeling
big
she
names.
knows that I'm not, but
Yeah.
she's going along with the bosses, and
Yeah,
that's
of
what's
course.
wrong with the media.
Yeah, but just because they don't report on the the result doesn't mean that it's not true. What's going on out
It's
there?
disgraceful how they call everybody these titles when we
Conspiracies.
question.
Yeah.
In our next piece, we're putting titles up for everybody.
Yeah.
Everybody on their side is going to have a title.
Yeah,
Because all
yeah.
these titles are ridiculous. We're
Yeah, I
calling
know.
them fascist, whatever.
But they call us fascists.
That's
Let's
all just be titled.
Oh,
None of it means.
fascists. We don't want to have a needle forced in our arm.
Yeah,
And
so we're
they're there
Trumpian.
with placards saying you guys are fascists.
Or
You
we're
guys
Trump
are
supporters.
delusional.
However, I give praise where it's due, and well done, Indira, for reporting on Sunia. Because Sunia, I felt it was a good piece of journalism on you. Did you feel happy with what she did?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, she
I've
told
got
your
nothing
story.
but love and respect for her.
Yeah.
I told her the only reason why I would even speak to mainstream media is because it was her. It wasn't anyone else. I was like, no.
That's interesting.
And she just did her job. She wasn't biased or anything. She just did her
Told
job.
the truth.
That's it.
And possibly had to fight the higher ups to get the whole story out, because I know from working in mainstream, they can come down and say, we'll leave that bit out. Or in my case, we'll put that title in for Liz Gunn, or, you've got to have the strength of character to say, no, this is my story and I want it to go out like that. That was really good. She did that. What was the effect of that being on mainstream, your story?
Like effect as in.
Did you get a lot more support again?
Oh, yes.
Masses of support?
So much support. And then, some guy, he's got a TikTok channel and he filmed his reaction of, the TV interview. And then I got a message from my sister-in-law saying, hey, have you seen that TikTok video of you or on you? I was like, no. Is it good or bad? Because if it's bad, I don't want to see it. It's. And then she said, no, it's good. People are supporting you, and the comments are real nice. Okay, then give me the link. Give me a look. Yeah, so it's really nice. A lot of people sharing nice words of support and everything. So it's like,
And it's crucial for you. It's crucial that you are honoured. But the bigger picture is it's a warning to these organisations. More and more Kiwis are waking up. And they've got to stop treating Kiwis in this shoddy way and going with the government. They've got to start honouring the real people, because we're awake to them, aren't we, Steve?
Yeah,
a lot of
people are, but I mean, you just hope that people would do the right thing. But that last little episode proved that a lot of people just do whatever's popular.
Which little episode?
Well, COVID and vaccine.
That's quite a big episode.
Yeah, vaccine passports and all the rest of it. They know that it's wrong. these are people that we know in society. These guys aren't anything, you know, there's no
Different from us.
No, there's no them and us, but they choose to make it them and us over, you know, a news article, you know. So it's just, it was a little bit disheartening to see that, you know, to see society split like that so quickly.
Yeah.
But all we want to do is just get on with life. And
Yes.
I mean, people have been, you know, we were kicked out of shops, and you know, my kids were treated like vermin and stuff, you know, through that time. But you just want to you don't want to really dwell on it. You just want to get on with it and get on with your lives, you know. But it's hard when the guys treating you badly are the ones persisting on, you know, their narrative, you know. It's
crazy.
It is crazy, yeah.
But it's really nice you two meeting. I feel you two will cross paths more than just here in the studio. Lovely to have
Awesome,
you both
yeah.
here. Thanks,
Thanks.
Steve. Thanks.
Thanks, Liz.